Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be painting a beautiful tea light holder on a stone. I have casted the stone using a Happy Dotting Company mold with premium plaster of Paris. It is incredible sturdy, weighing around 300 grams and has a smooth surface, making it ideal for dot painting mandalas. The final result is an elegant antique looking piece. I have already applied 2 coats of paint to the tea light holder. The base color consists of 90% of true red and 10% just a drop of lavender. The center has been painted with a rich gold tone. You can use any acrylic paint for this project. To achieve the berry shade, mix red, lavender or any purple hue. And I have taken gold to do the center dot. Since I want a smoother and shinier base, I will be adding one more coat to my tea light holder, because a well prepared base makes it easier to correct mistakes and ensures a polished finish. The center is now complete. It's always best to paint the center first, as the gold might spread out. Next, we'll be working out on the outer layer of the base coat. Here I am demonstrating how I mix my colors. The choice of color is entirely up to you. I have combined 2 red and lavender here I have taken a lot of lavender and a little bit of varnish to give a proper shine or extra shine. If you already have a berry color paint, you can use that paint instead of mixing. So our goal is to create a pinkish reddish tone for this base. At this stage my mix is leaning towards purple, so I am adding a bit of more red to balance it. When mixing custom colors, exact measurements aren't always possible. It's all about observation and adjusting until you achieve the desired shade. You can test the mix as I am doing and adjust accordingly. This technique also helps in recreating your palette once you run out of colors. Now let's apply another coat to our tea light holder. Remember, you need to wait for your base coat to dry completely before starting your dot mandala painting. My base has completely dried. Now I'll be using a flexible stencil from Happy Dotting Company to draw my grid lines. If you have any other stencil, you can use that as well. This stencil is very flexible, allowing you to bend and adjust as if needed. For making the grid, I'll be using a white charcoal pencil from Bristol. I prefer sharpening it with a manual long sharpener, which is designed specially for charcoal pencil. I get this question a lot, like your charcoal pens breaking off your charcoal pencil. So use a sharpener which is mostly designed for charcoal pencil and which has a adjustable sharpener to sharpen accordingly. One more thing to remember is when drawing your grid lines, so make sure your base coat is properly dried. If it's not completely set, wiping off the grid lines later might leave marks or smudges on your surface. To avoid this, work with a light hand while making the grid, ensuring clean and precise lines. Now that we have completed the grid lines. Let's move on selecting the colors. The main shade I'll be working with a bright yellow, bright orange and pink, any shade, and gold for highlight. I'll be mixing this color in a gradient manner, starting with yellow, then blending yellow with orange, followed by a pure orange, then mixing orange with pink, and finally transitioning it into proper pink. This will help create a smooth variation of shade within the design. Now let's begin painting our dot mandala. Since we are working with three main base colors, I'll be creating 3 rings of dot. Keep a Q-tip handy to correct any mistake along the way. I am starting with 1 mm dotting tool for the first ring of dot. For the second ring, I am slightly increasing the paint quantity to make the dot more prominent. Then I'll be using 1.5 mm tool to create the third ring of dot. The choice of tools and dots size depend on your preference and how comfortable you are with your dotting technique. Next, I'll be using 5.5 mm dotting rod to create a larger dot in a pink shade. If you don't have this exact tool, you can use any larger rod, especially the violet shade of the normal dotting rod which are available will be really helpful to create this dot. When applying this dot, make sure you dip your rod properly into the paint to get a smooth and even dot. Now we will go with the first floral design of dot and the swoosh. If you see the gap is more or you can adjust your design accordingly. If the gap is more, you can go with a walking of dots of gold color prior to this design. If your dot space is less, you can go with 3 dots and the swoosh. You can skip the first one. So it's as per you your dots and the spacing, you can adjust your design. Now let's move to the most complicated part. So when I was painting my last mandala, like tea light holder, before this, once I do the technique of bigger dot and the swoosh, while drying, the dot dripped down. The shape of the dot was not consistent everywhere. So with lot of trial and error, I came to this, like the paint was very fluidy. So in order to increase the thickness of the paint, I used a gel medium. I used Liquitex gel medium. You can use any gel medium to make the dot thicker, so that it will retain its shape and it will not flow out while drying. And another technique which I used with this thicker paint is giving a 3D dimensional look that we get through Nuvo drops. Nuvo drops are very hard for me to find, so I came out this, like I use the thicker consistency paint in my squeeze bottle to give that plumpy 3D effects to my dot. So you need to practice this out. This is a very hard, and you let all your previous design to draw out before trying, because squeezing this bottle need to be proper. Like you need to place your squeeze bottle a little bit higher than squeeze without giving any gap to it, because if you give a gap to it, air bubbles will go and your dots will not be proper. So you need to practice this a lot before trying it out on the surface. Now next, the last floral design, the way I go with the longer swoosh, walking up 2 dots with yellow and orange, then with the reddish pinkish red color using the smallest brush, liner brush, we'll go with the petal design, and at the end will give the bigger dot. So remember to like, this is very difficult, like this is also a hard part, because to keep it at a height, if your the other side is not dried, you may smudge the other dot. So give proper drying time to your dots. So that's very essential. And now we will be last, once all your petals are dried, I go with the highlighting. You can skip this also, but this really give a 3D look to my mandala, which now I cannot avoid giving. Almost all my designs now have highlight. You can go with lighter shade uh, to go for the highlight, or all, if your base petal is darker shade, you can go for lighter shade of the color for highlight, or you can go with a metallic one, as per your choice. So our painting process is complete. Now we are last with the varnishing. So apply a varnish to seal and protect your design. This, you can go for 2 coats of varnish. The first varnish need give proper drying time, so that you can enhance the durability and appearance of your tea light holder. I hope you enjoyed creating this tea light holder. Please share your feedback and creation with me on my Instagram account @creations by Sulagna. I would love to see your design. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends, and leave your comments and feedback below. I look forward to see you in my next video. Thank you for watching.